So I was listening to the PBD podcast, and I really like Pepe David. I read his book. What is it? Something about choose your enemies wisely or something like that. It was a fantastic book. And the the thing is something that he said about momentum. And they're talking about work-life balance and this and that and building businesses, and you got to sacrifice major things if you want to create major things. And that's what a lot of YouTubers, where they put these motivational videos out, or they say like you gotta do this, this, and this. Like the red pill guys. Oh, you gotta get all your stats up in all these categories, whether it's finance, health, game, blah 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 blah. Here's the thing: it's kind of like it's very similar to the girl boss who can have it all. Where yeah, you can have your career, be married, have kids, blah blah blah. No, something has to be sacrificed, whether it's the relationship with yourself, your husband, your kids, work, the house, whatever. Something is going to be sacrificed for you to do that. It's damn near impossible to level out be great at everything. And then that's why I think that these red pill guys are so unrealistic, and I don't think that they tell the complete truth about things. For me, I'm a big person of accountability. I like Jocko Willink's book, Extreme Accountability. I think that's what it was called. I forgot. But here's the thing: when he was talking about taking responsibility and accountability for everything, even if something he had no control over, like he basically is the leader at. And I understand where he's coming from, but it's impossible to control people, and you can be the best communicator, you can do everything right, and still somebody might not get it, and they're gonna screw up, and you can do everything completely perfect, and people are still gonna mess up. And there's some things you just can't take responsibility for. I mean, I understand what he's saying. I really do, and I like his message. And I think that more people need to have that type of mindset where they take responsibility for everything in their lives. But then there's things that you can't control. So what happens, in my life if a flash flood happens, like we happened, to those people. We lost 100 people in Texas. I mean, how can you take a freak of nature and say I'm responsible for that? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, the analogy I was going to use in my personal life is a storm happens and a tree branch falls on my car and totals my car. How am I going to I got to take responsibility. An asteroid comes and destroys my car or something, fragments of an asteroid. How am I going to how do I know where the asteroid is going to land? It's impossible to take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, and you know what I mean. So, but basically, when Pepe Day he really hit home about not motivation, but momentum. And that's something that I feel like I've been struggling with in my life for the longest time, is building momentum through my own grit, through my own will to keep moving forward, to keep trying hard, to keep pushing. And yes, I'm not gonna say everything in my life was like I haven't shot myself in the foot at all. But when I look at myself when I was younger compared to now, I'm damn near flawless, and I'm about as flawless as you can basically. Not 100%. I'm not perfect, so there is some things that I do foul up. But it's like for the amount of me not screwing up, um, I should have a ton of momentum, and that's what it's felt like in my own personal life. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, where it's just like it feels like there's something else going on here. You know, when I was talking about momentum of conversation, where I'm like dialing in, when I don't, it's in that zone where you're like boom, like for me, getting in that zone where I'm so, the rhythm is so good of like whatever's in my mind just comes out, especially like, you know, kind of like these videos, but in person when I'm talking to somebody, just like boom, 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 it's coming out to all these points, and then somebody comes and derails the conversation and completely destroys my momentum. And it's not even like the person that's listening, it's just the most random time, nothing could be happening, but at that right at that one time where I'm building momentum and feeling really good and getting all these points, hitting all these points, boom, 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 get derailed. And that is frustrating to have to continuously deal with that momentum shit. I feel like in my own personal life, maybe nobody else can relate to this, but it feels like it doesn't matter how, you know, how hard I work, I'm always going to get hit back. And yes, in life, there's always things that happen that you don't prepare for, and you can't plan for. It just comes out of left field. But it's just like, can things just go, you know, like, if I was doing it to myself, if I was a drug addict, if I was trying to steal from people, if I was trying to do these devious things, like I can understand like not getting anywhere, but the fact that like it feels like get to a certain point and then it's just like that's the top I can get. Like when I came here to Missouri and I got a job within 6 hours of being here, drove 14 hours straight, had a couple hours of sleep, woke up, went to the job interview. I actually had sweats on. I banged that interview. I didn't even care about it. And that's what it seems like. When I stop caring is when results happen. When I actually like care about stuff, I'm like held back by something, whether it's me subconsciously doing it and I don't realize it, but there's like for instance, like on Twitter, like for the longest time, I was trying to grow, I was trying to get impressions, and now I'm basically getting to the point where I really don't care about getting impressions. I don't care about getting growth because it's like I'm kind of bored, and then I get a lot more impressions than I ever have. Not ever have, but like it's more consistent. So I feel at this point I can say like throw out 30, 40 replies and get 50,000 impressions a day when it would have took me like 100 in the past, and I would have only gotten like 28,000 impressions. It feels like the more I care about something, the harder shit is. Like it seems like there is something behind letting things go and just kind of like I mean, not giving up, but like quitting on like caring. That's what it feels like. It's like I went 3 months without a job, and I really didn't care. I didn't care. I mean, I stumbled upon knowledge of retirement that I have access to. It was a substantial amount of money to help me pay my car off and a lot of debt. But I didn't know about that. And I just kind of just like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna do as best I can, you know. And it kind of what it feels like is just kind of stuck in neutral. Like that's what it feels like in this life, and you know, trying to keep everything together, trying to trying to avoid catastrophes and worrying. And I think that's something I need to get better at in my life, is stop worrying about things, stop trying to control things. If it happens, it happens. Like what am I supposed to do? You know, I'm not gonna sit here and intentionally stab me in the arm, but like if I'm like working on something and it accidentally stabs me in the arm, then it happens. I'm wondering, it's kind of like, you know, when you're driving and people, like somebody, usually like drunk drivers, usually last, like they usually survive accidents. And it's like, why do they survive the accidents? Well, for somebody like me who's sober, sees a car coming, I instantly like climb up and embrace for the impact. When they're kind of like, they go with it, you know, they're already relaxed. You know, they might die, but like, I'm just like, you know, a regular person that sees a car coming, you're about to get in an accident, you're gonna brace for impact. And they've already had that, they've already like, it's a chemical induced state of mind where they don't care and they're just kind of relaxed, but, or you know what I mean? So it's like a slow reaction, so like they didn't have time to clam up, as opposed to somebody who's sober. But what it feels like in my life is this continuously, the momentum is like, I can't get a good momentum. I can't start thriving. It's like something happens, like it puts me back. I continuously have to be put back. So this is why I say, even if I was to work like 80 hours a week, like these people are talking about, and like really start building my finances up, something would happen to like take all that away. Cause that's what usually always happens. What it feels like in my life is I'm always stuck in the same place. I feel like I'm on a never-ending treadmill. I'm not going anywhere. And if I am, it's like it's like losing weight. It's such a slow process, or gaining muscle. You're not gonna do all that overnight. And that's what it feels like in reality for me, where it's why I hate reality. Well, it's fucking boring, it's fucking lonely, and I don't relate to most people in person at all. Even if we have some things in common, I still don't relate to them. I don't vibe with them really. Some people I do, and I feel like I can vibe really easy with them because of their demeanor, you know, but we don't have nothing that I really want to talk about. So it's like, that's why I've gravitated towards the internet. And I probably talked about this in the past, and Tim Pool was talking about this last night, is, you know, people don't go out in person no more. They go on the internet because they find people that they are most aligned with. And this is how it's like the way we've had society set up, which is completely like natural, like just to have people randomly moving wherever. I think we need to have different cultures in real life that people feel comfortable with. They feel trust. Not just like random people living in random spots. It needs to be more so, not so much about like what's there or maybe the climate a little bit, but like how often do people really go outside? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like people need to think more like, who am I aligned with the most? Am I aligned more with LGBT? Then I'll go move to a blue state. Am I more aligned with Christian values? Then I'll move to a red state. If I'm like a certain religion, I want to be around people that have the same interests as me, especially when it comes to living, how we live, and moralities and different things like that. I don't see a point for me to go live in San Francisco. I don't see a point for somebody who's in San Francisco to come live where I'm at. I don't think blending cultures is good. Now, that people equate that to race, but I don't equate it to race. I think that anybody can be any culture they want. I think, yes, traditionally, there's been different cultures and different religions that have been more so with different races, but that is not something that always has to be set in stone and can change. You don't know what the future holds. Like, who knows what things can be rebranded as? Maybe the Muslims who people equate more with the Arabic people, maybe they completely abandon that and go Christianity at some point, and then you have white people that just go for Muslims in the future. Like, who the hell knows what happens in the future and how things can shift? I mean, that's a highly unlikely scenario, but it could happen. Who knows what the future holds? We don't really know what the future holds. And people in the past would never thought things would be like how they are. Back when, 20 years ago, I never thought things would be like how they are. I thought like when I was like 40, like this age right now, I thought, man, I want to be killing it. My kids are going to be over 18. I want to be like dating all kinds of women. I want to be like, have more money for myself. No, not at all. It's completely wrong. It's completely the opposite. So, it's really hard to predict the future and what's going to happen. But the momentum, it really feels like it's always like I don't even know what the fuck is battling against me at this point. Like, what the lessons that it seems like they're trying to teach me is patience, but it's like, dude, I've like how much more patience am I supposed to have? Especially when I look at the society I live in, I see all these people that are completely impatient, and I'm like level 100 compared to them like level 10. Not everybody, but like a lot of people in general. Like, why does that shit keep happening? Like, can I go on to another lesson at this point? Like, I think that I've learned plenty of lessons, and I'm pretty much just like, the same ones are just coming at me, or I'm just tired of it. It's just boring. It's old, it's boring, it's repetitive. I see the same type of scenarios. Wherever I change in my life, whether it's like a career, somewhere else I live, it's the same patterns. Like, well, I guess I didn't learn to be the supreme patient person, but it's just like, dude, how much like more do I have to learn? How much? You know how I'm saying like society's like 10% compared to me being 100%. I used to be the 10%. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe I'm not 100%, but it's like there's a huge gap between me and like the general society when it comes to patience. But it feels, I don't know if anybody relates to this, but it really, I like to make videos like this because maybe somebody will relate. But it really feels like I'm just battling this constant, and I'm really tired of battling. Like, seriously, like, I'm really sick of fighting. I honestly, like, want to just become a monk somewhere. Like, I would be fine doing that. Go live in a cabin in the woods by myself. Even becoming homeless. Like, I'm just tired of, like, grinding and fighting just to be in the same spot. That's what it feels like. There's always something else I have to fucking do, and I'm fucking tired. I'm burnt out. I've been burnt out. It's old. Oh, reality's so cool. I think that reality is fucking lame, and I fucking despise it at this point. Reality for me is eat some fucking shitty food because, like, there's not really much reward. We'll go to the gym, bro. Like, I feel disgusted with myself. I feel like I'm out of shape. But at the same time, it's like I have no fucking rewards. There's no outlet when it comes to a woman companionship and all that goes with that. So don't get that. And then it's just like I'm going to work and I'm going to work. I'm not getting anywhere with that. So there's not really, when you go to work after, and it doesn't have to be like a huge increase, but like you should feel more secure in your future than you did before you went to work. Look, increment a little bit, whether it's financial, whether it's your retirement or whatever. More for your health care. You should feel more secure. You should want to come back to work, whether you like the job or not, because like it's providing security. But it feels like these jobs don't really provide security. It feels like you just are basically a rental worker. They don't really, even though they say they think that health insurance is a benefit when it's really not, because they don't pay for shit. Maybe they do. Maybe they pay a big portion. But I feel like I got to pay a big portion. I feel like at this point, the way things are running, I would just rather them pay me a ton less and pay for my insurance. That way I can like get on fucking food stamps or some shit, since they don't want to take care of us. That's how it feels. If health insurance is a benefit for the company, like I really shouldn't have to pay nothing. Maybe a weekly premium is fine, but like all this extra, you just feel like, well, I can't do shit. I can't go nowhere. If I ride my bike and get into a big accident, my life is over. Crash my car. I'm just like over this shit. Like I really am. I'm ready for fucking robot taxis, so I don't have to worry about driving no more. I'm ready for UBI if that's what it has to be. You can say, like I'm ready for the pods, okay? Like I don't give a fuck. If the bugs taste like a burger or fucking pizza, steak, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit if it's fucking bugs. I don't give a fuck if I'm in a pod. That's these rich people. Ooh. Yeah, how are you supposed to enjoy life, rich person, when you're working 16 hours a day? And at the end of the day, nobody's gonna fucking remember you anyway. Maybe some, but 100 years from now, do you think that most people, who's the entrepreneurs from 100 years ago besides the elite ones, besides the Rockefeller ones and shit like that, or like, who's the one, General Electric Company, I forgot his name on top of it, but you know what I'm talking about, who swindled Nikola Tesla. Like, nobody remembers small business owners, nobody fucking remembers that. Even your family ain't gonna fucking remember you. So 100 years from, not even 100 years, like, no one gives a shit. I remember when I was young, I didn't give a fuck about what my family did for a living. I didn't give a shit. Most people don't give a fuck. So, like, what's the point of me building something really, really big? It might help out a small group of people, but there's a thing where, you know, we want to keep working hard to achieve things for sure, but you definitely want to enjoy your fucking life too. Nobody wants to sit here and live like they're in a concentration camp. Nobody fucking wants to live like that. Just slaving away. No one wants to be a fucking slave. Like you're just slaving away your whole fucking life. Nobody. And that's what it fucking feels like to some extent. And it's old, and people are tired of it. And these rich people don't realize that people are fucking pissed. They don't realize that they're fucking with these kids that don't give a fuck. They don't have any empathy. They don't give a fuck. In fact, they probably want to take them out. There's so much resentment. Like, how much fucking power and wealth do you really fucking need? Seriously. I think there should be a limit. Unless like we're all taken care of. You know, if everyone's taken care of, that's fine. But we're not. What it seems like is all the fucking wealthy people are just hoarding all the fucking assets, and just society is going to shit. You're the fucking leaders, man. Society's going to shit because of you motherfuckers. Because you elites. You can blame us. You can blame us because but the way that you guys are fucking doing shit, the way the government's being ran, completely irresponsible. And at some point, and I'm not threatening any type of violence. I don't advocate for it. I'm not saying people should go do it. I'm not gonna do shit. When I look at history, when I look at similar situations, what we're going through right now, what do you think the young men are gonna do when they don't feel like they're making anything with their lives? No matter how hard they work, they don't have any women that give a fuck about them. You know, friends and family don't seem like they're really there for them. They don't have any support system. They're gonna reach the I don't give a fuck about this shit no more. That's what I don't give a shit. Let's burn this fucker down, because it's not doing anything for anybody except for the elites. I'm not a socialist at all. You know, bring the EVI. Well, at some point when there's no fucking jobs, okay? When there's no fucking jobs because AI takes all of our wealth, what kind of economy are we going to have? Somebody explain that to me. What are we supposed to do? When the only people that have any type of access to money are the elites, how the fuck are we supposed to buy anything at the bottom? Tell me what kind of economic system we're going to have. I go back and forth with this because I'm all hardcore for capitalism to push us into technology evolution, so we don't have to do these stupid fucking jobs no more, which I don't want to fucking do. If I was making now, if my life was so much a ton fucking better after I come home from work, I got a lot more money. I feel like I can go to the store and shit ain't fucking, it ain't nothing to buy shit, it ain't nothing to pay my bills. Cool, but it's not like that. It's extremely fucking hard. And that's cool, other people are doing really, really well, but there's a lot of people that aren't fucking doing really well, and they've been busting and grinding, and they're fucking tired because they're not getting anywhere. I've said before, it feels like the carrot that keeps us moving forward on this treadmill has been taken away. And the treadmill feels like if you don't keep going on the treadmill, if you stop off of this treadmill, you're gonna go back into a bunch of fucking spikes and die a really painful death. That's what it feels like.